All right, we are Facebook Live at 12:05. Thank you everyone for joining me. I am Tamara Inzunza with Realty One Group Capital here in Alexandria, and joining me today is one of my good friends, Patrick Cunningham. Hi, Pat.
Hey, Tam, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I am so excited to have you. We have been working together for years. Tell everybody what company you're with.
It's called Home Savings and Trust Mortgage. It's a local kind of DC area lender. We're in Fairfax, but we do stuff all over Virginia, Maryland, DC.
Yep. And what else do you and I have in common?
Oh, I met you at a JMU kind of networking event back in the day, a long time ago.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yep.
friends.
Yep. And we've been working together for a long time. We've been friends for a long time. And you and I have helped a lot of veterans.
Mm-hmm.
So our topic today is specifically how to use a VA home loan to buy a luxury home.
Okay.
So the market is changing just a little bit. So we're starting to see sellers and listing agents be a little bit more receptive to offers where you have VA financing. So Pat, let's get right into it. So what is the down payment requirement for a VA home loan, specifically if I'm looking to buy at a higher price point?
It's zero. I mean, with us, if you go over 1.5 million, we make you put down a whopping 10%, which is nothing compared to what you have to put down, in other with other loan programs. So it's basically zero, way into the millions.
Okay. And so usually when buyers are looking at a higher price point, a lot of times they like to look at the conventional mortgage and they think that's their only option or their best option. So what is the advantage of using a VA loan versus the conventional loan?
Well, the rate and payment's a lot lower. You don't have mortgage insurance. So if you compare the similar loan amounts side by side, depending on the price point we're talking about, you're saving hundreds of dollars and not paying mortgage insurance, having a little lower interest rate, and you're not forced to put money down if you don't want to, or a whole lot less,
Well, and I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because one of the things that I love to say when I am consulting with buyers is, let me show you. So I sent you one of our listings. This is the financial scenario for a listing that we currently have in Alexandria. It's not over $1 million, but the price point or the list price is $799. So Patrick, walk us through this particular breakdown?
Yeah, so the first one on the left's a conventional loan, and it's basically about an 800 house, $799. We can finance 95% of that with a conventional loan. That's common. You can put down as much as you want, but this one shows 5% down plus closing costs.
Okay.
So you can see the payment with taxes, insurance, and mortgage insurance at that price point. So it's not a large down payment. It's about $5,600, and your cash to close is about 65 grand there.
Okay.
Okay. If you slide over to the next one, that's a VA loan.
Okay.
That's got no money down. So the cash at closing, you can see, is about 40 grand less, and the payment's lower by a couple $100. All right. So that's kind of, in a nutshell, what a big difference is right there.
Okay, so this one with no money down, I am saving on my monthly payment $237.44.
And keeping 40 grand in your pocket.
Oh, gotcha. Because I have a lower interest rate.
Yeah, and you don't have mortgage insurance, which we can delve into later, but that's why that's why you're borrowing more money on this one, putting less down, and your payment's lower, which, wouldn't make sense otherwise.
That's a win-win.
Big time.
Yep. Okay, and what about the third column?
So that's I was trying to do a little bit more of an apples to apples. Let's say you could put down as much money as you want with VA loans. So let's say you want to put down money. That's a 5% down transaction if you compare to the first column of 5% down. So you can see the cash to close about similar, 64.5, 64.6, supposed to be the same. That payment's at $500, $512 lower a month. So
that's pretty significant.
Well, it's $6 grand in a year and 60 grand in payments over 10 years.
Awesome.
So it's a lot.
Okay. Well, I like the way that you break that down. And that's one of the reasons why we love to have people kind of, talk to us for a few minutes instead of just calling us when you're in front of a house and saying, hey, I want to take a look at this house. when we do the in-person or virtual consultation, this is one of the things that we like to sit down and go over with you. We want you to be clear about what your payment breakdown is going to be. And we also want to make sure that you have some scenarios so that you have options to choose which one works best for you and your family at the time.
Yeah, that's a great point. Do some planning ahead of time so you have a clear strategy. You can do it a couple different ways, but it's no fun to go house hunting without confidence,
Right.
without kind of a game plan.
Right.
That's
right.
what that analysis is for.
Well, and one of the things that when you do decide, when the buyer does decide to finally do their mortgage application with you, one of the documents that is required with a VA home loan is the certificate of eligibility. So you have provided that as well. So talk to us about the COE, or the certificate of eligibility, what it is and what it means.
Yeah, so we need to get this so we can even do a VA loan. So if someone was unsure if they have entitlement, when we do the initial approval, we request this right away.
Okay.
And so a couple things on here. It shows the branch. This is someone real from recent. Shows they earned their entitlement in the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
A big one next to that is it says this particular person's exempt from paying the funding fee. So
Okay.
VA collects funding fees in order to run this program. It's not taxpayer funded, or it's not a grant or anything. And if you have 10% or higher disability rating, Tamara, which a ton of people do, ton of people, and most of them are have left the military, retired, or separated from the military, to get that rating, because they got to go through VA to get it. You don't have to pay the funding fee.
Okay.
A funding fee, while even with it, is still cheaper than a conventional loan in most cases. A funding fee on the example we just talked about, that 800 house price, would be like 17 grand, something like that. So you're avoiding massive fees. This person is avoiding massive fees. So we always check that.
Okay.
If this person had had a VA loan before, it would be listed out here, because we need to know if there's something used in Texas or even somewhere around here, to determine what we can do to help them on the next go around here.
Okay.
So this person has full entitlement, we call it, is exempt from paying the funding fee.
Okay.
And is ready to rock.
So who gets the certificate of eligibility? Is that something that you do as the lender?
We do it. We have access to a system that we network with VA on. So we request it. A veteran could call or go on VA's site. You got to dig around a bit and go to the home loan benefit section and request it themselves and give it to us. Either way is fine, but we're already on there anyway daily. So we just do it as part of our pre-approval process. Gotcha.
Okay. And another thing, another benefit of the VA home loan is something that you and I we've helped our clients with over the years, and that is exemption from property taxes. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, that's big. So going off of that disability rating thing, it's people would be surprised at how many people have the disability rating.
Right.
I'm not going to get into the different disabilities, but it could be anything. It could be a bit of hearing loss. It could be a knee. It could be whatever. I don't know. I didn't go through the rating process myself, but if you have 100% service connected disability, which a good amount of people do, and they know they have it because they've gone through a process. They're also getting a payment from VA. They don't have to pay property taxes. Now they need to tell the county they have it, because the county is just going to send you a tax bill. They're not going to guess themselves whether you're eligible. So you buy the house, show them, and they waive your property taxes. So on that one we just covered, that house would have like 7 or 8 grand a year in taxes.
Right. Let me pull that back up just to show people.
Yeah, go down to page 3. And I use, this is one of your listings now, right? This is a live listing.
Yep, that's the live listing.
Yeah, so I pulled the property taxes, and if you look down, it says 591. So that's like 7 grand a year. That's probably going to be like 8 grand a year next year for that house. It should stabilize at that point, but the taxes have been catching up to these higher property values.
Right.
That's a ton. That's like $700 a month next year. So what that does is it just makes it flat out way cheaper to purchase that real estate. Or a $700, you'd have to go up about 120 grand in house price to even out that 700. So basically what I'm saying is you could buy a house for say 900 or 920 versus 800, have the same payment if you don't have property taxes. So it's great that you're getting the word out, because there's a lot of veterans probably have that
Right.
and have not told the county.
Oh, I just thought of a question. Okay.
What?
So if I purchase this, if I'm VA eligible, however, I purchase this with a conventional loan, am I still exempt from the property taxes, or am I only exempt from the property taxes if I'm using the VA loan?
You're exempt if you
Okay.
have, either way. You could pay cash for a house, and it's just you demonstrating in the county that you have that certain amount of disability rating that they're looking for.
Okay. What about new construction? So can I use my VA home loan for new construction, or is it strictly for resale properties?
No, all day long, just as long as it's done. The builder's got to get the occupancy cert from the city or the county, and you can get your loans. We do the same kind of planning track with people that are using veterans loans versus conventional loans versus whatever with
Okay,
the construction. So I would put that in your list
gotcha.
with the resales to shop for.
Okay, and what about new construction condos? Because we do
Yeah.
specifically when you get closer in, a lot of new construction condos, are those VA eligible?
The builder has to, VA checks all the condos. So if it's brand new, they
Mhm.
may not have added to their list yet. They keep a running list, which we insert. We can search online.
Mhm.
You can search online. We prefer to do it. There's no cost to you to do it, but it's a little weird. You got to sometimes check and retype the address and put it in different ways, because you don't know how VA has it in their system. It's a database of all the condos in the country. Keep in
Gotcha.
mind. So a builder would be a little foolish to not get approved with VA.
Mhm.
If I was the builder doing the neighborhood, I'd be right to be VA, because that helps me sell in this, especially in this area. I mean, we're one of
Right.
the biggest veterans communities in the country
Right.
here. So yeah, most of them are, and most of the resales are. We just need to check the list so you're not too far into your process and finding out that you've wasted your time, because that's not a VA approved condo.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why we ask the questions that we've asked when you guys call us for the first time, because we want to see, when we're asking, okay, are you a first time buyer? Are you active duty, military, or veteran? We want to see and help you determine what you're eligible for, because part of our job is to help you reduce the costs of home ownership and to help you get into a home without depleting all of your money that you have in savings. And we want to see what programs that would help make this process easier for you and more cost effective.
Yeah, well, that's nice you ask, because a lot of realtors don't even bother asking people.
Believe me, I know. Believe me, I know. And so you guys, when you're contacting us for the first time, don't get frustrated, when we ask you these questions, because we're doing this to see how we can help you put money back in your pocket.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So, well, awesome. Well, Pat, thank you. This was very helpful. What is the best way for people to reach you?
If it's on this topic, you can Google Patrick Cunningham and veterans loans, or Patrick Cunningham and just mortgage. You'll see a bunch of reviews. We got tons of them, and that feeds into a website I have called novavetloans.com.
Yep. I love your website, and I'm really, really happy that you have made a website specifically for veteran home loans. I really do appreciate that, because I send that to people often.
Oh, good. Yeah, we have some videos on there that talk about some of these topics, and try, we try to keep them abreast on what the changes are and things like that. So.
Awesome. Well, Pat, thank you so much for joining me for today's episode of Facebook Live at 12:05. Guys, if you have any questions, you can feel free to drop them below in the comment section. We'll be checking back often, and you can reach us directly. Thank you so much. Thanks again, Pat, for joining me today.
Oh yeah, thanks. This was fun.
Awesome. Take care.